Warning, this podcast contains some strong language and adult content. Viewer discretion is advised. I'm Trey B. Lyon.
And I'm J. Mello the Great.
And you're listening to T&J's Child's Play.
We created this podcast to give young adults an escape from their daily lives.
But we're here to remind you that shit is still real, so wake the up.
I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.
We like to highlight excellence in the young black community.
As well as give y'all some bomb advice and create a place where you can just kick it with us. Catch our show here every Thursday with some new content, and make sure to follow us on our social medias at T&J's Child's Play. Yep. And we're back. We're back in the studio. We're back in the studio, Jada.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of T&J's Child's Play.
Whoa, that energy wasn't that.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of T&J's Child's Play.
That sounds a lot better. I like that.
Featuring D, even though D's not here.
Yeah, D is not here. In this podcast, we're going to touch on the last 2 weeks, where we've been, some of the things we've encountered and experienced. As Jada said, Danielle will not be in the studio with us today. She has some other duties to attend to. You know, the semester is getting tight, so, you know, those deadlines are coming up, so she wasn't able to make it into the studio. So, of course, you know, school first. But before we get into this podcast, Jada and I have an announcement. So this is the last podcast until June. Yeah, everybody's probably like, "Whoa, what's going on?" Yeah, this is the last podcast until June. We're dealing with some things, and just, you know, want you guys to continue to be supportive and, you know, support the show. But, you know, we're just going to take a break for a little bit. It's not going to be a break, really. We're going to, you know, regroup, get some things in order for you all. We have a lot of things that we want to do, so that, you know, that requires for us to take a break and step back and make sure that we're taking the necessary steps to get us where we need to be.
Yes, for the ideas to flow, we need to experience things, and things need to happen.
Absolutely. So I'm excited for that. I'm not excited for the break, but I am excited for the break, but I'm not, if that makes sense.
You're excited for the future, to see where we're going to go.
Absolutely. I'm excited for what the break may bring us later.
Yes.
That's what I'm excited for.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. But make sure to keep up with us on our social medias, you know, Instagram and Twitter. We're definitely going to be there a lot more, especially since we won't be putting out a podcast. So our presence will be there on social media. So make sure to stay up with us up there. You can find all our updates up there on T&J's Child's Play. But how's the end of your semester coming, Jaden? Like,
it's pretty good. I still have 2 papers to write, but you know, hey, that's just how it is. That's the end of the semester here at Old Dominion University. You're gonna have papers to write.
Yeah, especially being comm major, and you know, you got a lot of papers to write.
A lot of papers to write about communicating.
Yeah, about communicating, about talking.
About talking. I'm writing about talking.
There we go. Writing about talking.
Come on.
Write it out.
Write it out.
My semester's it's coming along. I'm ready for it to be over. Yeah, over. So we can definitely get to work. Because, you know, you can work on some things, but you can't work on some things fully until you have, like, you know, it has your undivided attention. But what do we want from all this work that we're putting in? Like, this, what's like the end goal?
I feel like that's kind of what summer is kind of for, though.
Yeah. For
you to get your head back on straight.
Right.
So for all that free time that we have, all we can do is just focus on the show.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. And we went to a business class yesterday over the weekend, and learned a lot of good things, and just we're excited to showcase that for sure. But all right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. We miss you guys. We're sorry that we weren't here for, was it a week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks. It was 2 weeks.
I don't like that. We slipping.
Yeah.
We're slipping. But it's not our fault. It's not our fault. We're just, it's hard. It's very hard. Some things we can't say. But it will be said. They will be said. Just, you can't say it right now. I'm trying to...
Nigga.
Keep pushing, guys. Keep pushing in your semester. Continue to be inspired. Continue to put all your effort into your work, and make sure you're putting your best foot forward. You're almost done. We don't usually record our podcast, but we definitely want to show you guys more of like what's going on, and as far as like the process, you know, to making the podcast. You know, like what is all the work that's required in doing the show. So a lot of prepping and, you know, behind the scenes work. So
it's a lot that goes into what we do.
Absolutely.
It's a lot. Writing it, producing it, editing it, promoting it.
Yes.
A lot.
Yes, a lot. And the business class yesterday definitely like blew our minds. It was like, wow, like it's a lot of stuff that we're like not doing that we thought we were doing. in what we need
We weren't
to do,
doing
like,
it to
more of.
our best abilities.
Right.
Like,
But a lot of that school too,
Yeah,
like
it
if you're putting an effort into something, like you can't like put your all into everything.
Exactly.
Like something's going to, like lack or not
that
have
was
as
one
much effort.
major thing that I liked that she said. Like, just don't bite off too much you can't chew.
Mm-hmm.
And like she understands that everybody else does have other things going on, and that's not the main breadwinner, but all you have to do is persevere and you'll get through it. I think that was an amazing message because a lot of people in there probably did have regular jobs.
Yeah.
And they are just doing 9 to 5s, just trying to make ends meet. So I think that class is pretty necessary for any entrepreneur out there.
Right. And the class we're referring to, the lady, she goes on off of Instagram, her name is The Real BB Judy. And she sells the Miracle Drops, like for edges and stuff. If you guys don't know who she is.
Edge is gone. Get some.
Yeah. She's done a lot of like funny videos and stuff, and a lot of in stuff in her community. But what she tried to do in this class was like to give back and to like, teach, entrepreneurs like how to run your business. Like these are the necessary steps that you need, like these are things that you need to follow in order to be successful in your business. And a lot of the tips and points that she gave us definitely will be applied in the forthcoming weeks. So, look forward to that.
Yes.
But let's get into this quote of the day. Quote of the day reads, and it's unknown. Remember, you can't reach what's in front of you until you've let go what's behind you. So,
Deep yet again.
yeah,
It's always deep.
everything is gonna relate in here. Everything's gonna relate here. You can't shoot for what's in front of you until you've let go of what's already behind you.
Come on.
Yeah,
That's it.
a lot of hidden messages in this. They don't understand.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically, we're going through some things with our current arrangement right now, within a facility that we record our podcast.
Yeah.
And it's time to let go. It's time to let go, and it's time to move forward. And that's like the main reason for our break, is to figure things out again, in which they will be figured out.
Always.
No doubt.
This whole year has been figured out.
Yeah, but it's time to basically jump and not know what the answer is. Like we figure it out. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to it because it needs to happen.
Not every part of growth is gonna be great. It's not
Right.
gonna feel good.
Right.
And
if it does, then that's not growth.
it's not growth.
It doesn't
You're
make
being
sense.
comfortable. So I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
You have to get uncomfortable, and a lot of this has been us being uncomfortable
yes,
and like having to take risk or having to go against the grain.
having to go and talk to people,
Right.
promote our show,
Right. That's what
stuff that we haven't been used to doing.
Yeah. Talking
So,
to people.
Let's do it. Podcast studio. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into what we have learned for the week.
Oh, I don't want to cuss this podcast.
Man.
All right. Okay, I've learned this week that everyone is going through some shit.
Shit.
One way or another, and that some people just need for someone to be there for them. Everything behind closed doors can't seem perfect, but on the inside, a person can be really hurting. That's what I've learned.
Okay.
Yes. You want me to elaborate on that?
I mean, yeah, if you want to. I mean, it seems pretty touchy. So if you want to elaborate.
I mean, it's just not even just me, just a lot of people going around. Like, you just really don't know what's built on top of the stress. Because we stressed out already as college students.
Right.
So for another person to have a family member that's dying and this, that, and the third, like a million things could be happening.
Right.
And then you still have to worry about those 2 papers.
Yeah. You still bring up these damn papers.
I mean, but still,
good
like,
point. That's a good point. You don't know.
being a college student is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not even really talking kind of about my personal life. It's just different stories that people hear because people say it's easy for them to open up to me. So some of the stories that I be hearing,
What? It's easy for people to open up to you,
right?
baby?
It's
What?
crazy. I'd be like, all right, I'm just talking to you, but okay. But yeah, like on a serious note, like people really be going through some stuff. And
Yeah.
you don't never know because
Right.
they have a smile on their face.
Right.
You see them in classes. Oh, hey, what we doing? This, that, and third. Let's go and eat.
Mm-hmm.
But you going through all that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think that's why like they say like you have to be like careful like how you treat people because you never know like what they're going through, or what they experience, or what they have experienced. So
Yes.
you have to like treat everybody like kind, like how you want to be treated. So I feel that.
Yeah, it's crazy. People
Yeah.
going through stuff every day. You
But-
wouldn't even know it.
But also with like being there for other people, make sure that, not to say like make sure it's both ways, but then again, do that. You know, like,
Right.
you know, make sure that that person that you're there for, make sure they can do the same for you.
Right.
You know, make sure they can be supportive of you and return that.
Yeah.
Because they can't, then that's one-sided,
It's very one-sided.
as we've talked about before.
Right. It's the difference between venting and using me.
Yeah.
Skadoom. All right, let me stop being goofy.
All right.
What have you learned?
What I've learned for this week is, again, let go of what seems comfortable and reach for something that I can't see or seems impossible. If I don't leave where I'm currently standing, how am I going to be able to see like what's being offered over there? Like what opportunities are over there? If I'm just here and I'm comfortable,
Right.
you know, like if I don't know, then how are you going to be able to grow? You know, like
Right.
you have to stand still.
That's another thing we learned yesterday.
Yeah.
You have to be uncomfortable.
Yep.
We're going to have to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's all right, though. Because then once we're comfortable again, it's back to trying to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because guess what? That means we're going to elevate.
Yeah, because that means you're content. You're content where you're at. So
Right.
now you have to get uncomfortable in order to grow. It's all
Have
about
to.
experience and
Have to.
going through things. And
Just
growing
like
through
going to
things.
college.
Yeah.
We're away for the first time. Uncomfortable. It's comfortable again. We got to make it uncomfortable somehow.
Yeah.
Hence the show.
Yeah. Uncomfortable. Got you.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all coming full circle.
It is. It really is. So I have some points before we get into tidbits. For the things that you want in life, I think these are some necessary steps. First, talk to God about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you have to do some soul searching, meaning that you should have a relationship with God. And I don't like to push religion on people, but I truly believe that in order to be successful, that you need to have a relationship with God. That's it. You know, like you need to have some constant communication and talk with him, you know, about like where you're going and the things that he wants you to do and to accomplish. And then, you know, you ask him, you talk to him, you ask about how to go about receiving it. And let him lay out the necessary steps that you need to make in order to make your goals a reality. And then to trust your gut and know that even if the people around you if they're not on the same, you know, level that you feel that you're on, to continue to do what you do, basically, and to trust yourself, and push forward. And everybody may not understand your process. They may not understand your process or your goals or your dreams or whatever, but continue to work and push for what you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like all that.
Like all of that. All right.
Tidbits.
Tidbits. You want to start with tidbits?
Yeah.
Let's get
Kim
it.
Kardashian.
Kim K.
Woo! So excited. All right, let me
So
stop before I get
excited.
copyrighted.
Right.
Kim Kardashian is studying to become a lawyer and will be taking the bar exam in 2022. Washington, California, Vermont, and Virginia are the only 4 states in the country where you do not need to go to law school in order to take the bar exam.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
So right after your undergraduate or whatever, you can go and take the exam. You get a good enough grade, you're a lawyer.
Wow.
The only 4 states out of the 50.
Wow. I did not know that. That's really new information to me.
Yes.
So, like, people don't need to pay, like, the unnecessary money to go to law school and, like,
Nope.
to get there.
Take a bar prep test. Oh, I said test class and cross your fingers. You pass it. Yay, I got a job.
But I think you're only allowed to take the bar exam, 3 times?
I
think
don't
it's-
know the
I think
minimum
it's
on that,
3
but,
times.
yeah.
I think you're only allowed to take the bar exam 3 times. And I don't know if you fail it, like, how that goes. But
All right.
that's interesting. I did not know that.
So,
But I feel like you should go to school anyway. You know,
should.
like you should go to school anyway just to get
You
that
really should.
experience and like, because who wants to be dogged out in the courtroom? Who want to get their ass handed to them in the courtroom?
all right. You
want
need to
your
go to
ass
law
handed to you.
school.
Right. I
You
think,
need to go to law school.
I think you should,
You should go to law school.
unless you're just that nigga.
Yeah. I mean,
Unless
some
it's that
people
neat.
do be studying. I mean, if you have a passion for law and the Constitution and stuff like that, if you study it, then I mean, hey,
I don't think people have a passion for it. I think people need to have like an understanding of it.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
understand.
Logic behind it. But yeah, what do you think about Kim Kardashian trying to become a lawyer out of all people?
I don't know. I don't know if like the whole. I think it's I don't know who I heard say this. Who was on the Breakfast Club? What's her name? I forgot her name.
Who? Oh, like the girl?
Yeah, she's.
Angela Yee?
Yeah, no, not Angela Yee. She's
Or
a
it was
lawyer.
a guest on
Yeah,
there?
she's a lawyer though.
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know.
But I think it's. I don't know. I think it's.
Was she light skinned?
I don't know. If she was light skinned. She was like brown skinned.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, you might be talking about Angela Rye, but Angela Rye is just a politician. and a journalist.
She
goes on there like once a month.
I don't know.
Politics.
I'm not sure, but I think it's you can use your status to help people out. Like, so I know she's like helped out a couple of cases, or like one or two, and like she's like working with the president and stuff like that. But I think it's a line. It's a line that you don't like cross. And I don't know if law is her thing. I can't see her defending somebody.
I can't see it at all.
Yeah.
That's not Kim Kardashian. I mean, but then again, like, maybe she gets the idea that everything else has gone fine, so maybe this will go fine too. Yeah. Maybe she's taking her chances.
No, definitely taking a chance.
All power to her, but I don't think she should do it.
It could be a stunt. It could be a stunt because, I mean, if you look at like her sisters and stuff, very.
Yeah.
Well, what not Kylie? Kendall or Kylie? Which one is 1 billion?
Kylie.
Kylie. Like very successful in what they're doing. I wonder if she just wants like attention, but then again, I don't know.
I mean, I could see it going in that direction too.
Yeah,
because I think she's like worth more than her now. Kylie is worth more than Kim Kardashian now.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that. But then again, her father was a really famous lawyer too.
Mm-hmm.
So Robert Kardashian. So I don't know. Best of luck to her though. I heard that exam is hard as hell.
Yeah. The bar exam is not something that's easy. That's what I'm saying. I feel like you should go to school anyway to, learn more about the law. So G Herbo was arrested for assaulting the mother of his child. So this is thanks to the Shade Room. They reported that G Herbo was arrested Wednesday in Atlanta on a battery charge. Now law enforcement sources tell us that the dispute involved the mother of his child, Ari. Atlanta police officials said that they responded to a dispute call around 11:40 a.m. Wednesday. Police said when they pulled up, Ari told them that G Herbo had assaulted her during an argument and then left the location with her son. Upon arrival, officers spoke with the victim, who advised that she was in verbal altercation with the father of her child when at some point he assaulted her. Okay, damn. How do you, I don't know how to...
So when I was looking at the videos, like both of them,
their videos out.
Yeah, like okay. It's a video of his Instagram live when he got out of jail, and then he was talking about we have this son together, but you still want to suck my D and and it was over $50,000 of jewelry. He had like the jewelry like in the passenger.
Was it
seat.
His jewelry?
I think it was his jewelry. I think that's what they were fighting over, and he was just cussing, and it was crazy. And then I think she went on Instagram Live and was like, "Yeah, he beat me in front of my son," and then closed the door and all this. I feel like they both being immature, and they still are in love with each other, and that's just what I think. And they don't want to see each other move on, because all this drama came along once he found a new girlfriend.
Or maybe it's not to say that it's her fault or whatever, but. I mean, maybe they were in a immature relationship, as we've talked about. Like it's a lot, to be in a relationship, and like, the maturity and work that needs to go into one. So, I mean, I don't know if they really were there yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if they were like fully established, like, oh yeah, relationship, on that Will and Jada type.
Right.
I think it takes a lot of people like underestimate like what relationship.
That's just really what it sounds like. It just sounds like a whole bunch of toxic stuff.
Right. Because if you arguing over jewelry, that's not
arguing over all types of stuff. And it was like, oh yeah, you ain't have a problem with me until I got this girlfriend. Well, obviously y'all haven't set the proper boundaries and all this.
Yeah.
And obviously y'all are lying to y'all family, because 2 weeks ago y'all was at the boy's birthday party acting like, oh, we the best co-parents in the world. And now all of a sudden,
shit hitting the fan.
He hit me. She took my jewelry. What? What is that?
And do you think that the like media has like a lot to, like just like being a celebrity and just publicity, like
absolutely,
I think that has like a lot to weigh in on it too.
It plays a lot into it.
Yeah, not just their relationship not being the best, but just like publicity and like other people being involved and they're weighing in their comments and stuff too.
Yeah, you just put too much of your business out there, and this is what happens.
Yeah.
Now people picking a side. People might not listen to your music and all this just because of your crazy baby mama, and you sitting there not doing the things that you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Do you know any more about the baby mama? Like, I'm not.
I don't know a lot about the baby mama.
Because I wasn't like.
But I know that they were like goals when they were together, and the son and
like
stuff.
hashtag goals like on Instagram and shit.
Yeah, and they like loved them together, and then all of a sudden they broke up like in the middle of nowhere, Then she got a new girlfriend. I mean, he got a new girlfriend. Who, Love and Hip Hop. It's one of their daughters. Fabulous. It's Fabulous's daughter or stepdaughter or whatever.
Okay.
That's who he's dating now.
Gotcha. Love and Hip Hop.
Like the original Love and Hip Hop. Like
okay.
Fabulous's wife was on it, and it's their daughter.
I don't keep up with Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
I just don't watch it.
Well, the OG people who watched it when it was actually low key, kind of good, but then it turned into a lot of foolishness.
Yeah, I don't
just
like
a little bit of foolishness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who he's dating now.
And I
Yeah.
think you would say too, like the media, like is kind of like responsible for some of it all too, because you've invited these people, because now your relationship goes. So now you invited these people into your
Right.
relationship. So now you feel like you owe them an explanation of like what's going wrong, and now you have to show that and showcase that to everybody. Like, okay, this is what she got a problem with, or this is what's wrong.
People be going on IG Live like insane, like maniacs. It's crazy. 6ix9ine's baby mama need to stop too.
What's wrong? What happened with her? His baby?
Because she just keeps on chiming in on everything. She's just trying to find the golden opportunity to get a check.
Well, I mean, 6ix9ine have a blueprint, and he was waiting for everybody. So
Yeah.
maybe she's following her baby daddy's blueprint.
Yeah, that's basically what she's doing. But yeah.
All right, so then we have some more serious news, and don't kill me if I pronounce this wrong. We'll kill
Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Sri Lanka.
Okay. The bombings in Sri Lanka leave 207 dead, hundreds injured in the church, hotels explosions on Easter Sunday. Very touchy subject. And I'm just like, wow, like nothing surprises me anymore. Like I'm not even, in shock, rest in peace to people who have passed, but like nothing surprises me anymore, like just in the world, like bombings and, shootings, like it doesn't surprise me anymore. Like it's scary, like it's not shocking anymore.
Terrorism it's an eye-opening thing. But the first thing that came to my mind when I read up on it, like yesterday before I went to bed, was basically that I was watching the special on MSNBC. My dad loves MSNBC. It's like a radical Democrat news outlet, and they were basically having like this new special on Muslims and how they were treated after 9/11. So I'm not deteriorating the fact that this just happened. It's very tragic and devastating. And I don't even think it's come out who has bombed all of those people in Sri Lanka.
It does have some, but it's not like clear, like who's.
It was just like a group of like people. They have names.
Well, it says at least 11 foreigners were confirmed killed in the attacks. Oh no, I'm sorry. Those are people who were killed in the attacks. No, they don't have it up here listed.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, like it's a very touchy subject, and it's tragic that these things happen. But then again, at the same time, I'm just going to use America as an example. We use things like this, like devastating times like this, to become more prejudiced and more racist. Muslims, they've been treated very poorly off of one set group of Muslims doing an attack.
Yeah.
So if there's 3 million Muslims, not even 3 million Muslims, let's just make that example. 3 million Muslims in the city of Norfolk right now, because Norfolk is actually pretty big.
That's a lot of Muslims.
I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, how about 3 million Muslims on the East Coast?
Okay.
If it's all those Muslims, and you're going to treat each and every Muslim bad because of a group of 20 Muslims, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's saying a group of 10 black guys robbed something. Oh, now all black guys are bad because these 10 black guys robbed a bank.
Yeah. But it's kind of hard to change like people's like minds and mindsets of like what happened, because
it's going to be very hard.
Because 9/11 was something that was like really tragic, and like the timing. So like it actually being in 9/11, that's police emergency. So like like the strategy behind it was,
yes, it was very planned out. It was
right.
very devastating, very horrible.
Right. But at the same time, I do get what you're saying. Like people were treating them differently, but we also have to look at it too. Like that was a really vulnerable time in America. Like that
very
time,
vulnerable.
yeah. So we have to excuse them, but then again, it doesn't make it okay for you to treat people poorly.
It doesn't.
So, yeah.
And I just feel that times like these, it's very hard. It's very hard.
Donald Trump tweeted 138 people have been killed in Sri Lanka, with more than 600 badly injured in a terrorist attack on churches and hotels. The United States offers heartfelt condolences to the great people of Sri Lanka. We stand ready to help. Donald Trump. I don't know. It's just nothing surprises me anymore. But
No.
again, I am sorry for those who've lost people. Due
Another
to these suicide
strategic
bombings.
attack
Yeah.
on Easter.
Yeah, it says coordinated series of suicide bombings. The explosions took place miles apart, and the targets included 3 Christian churches holding Easter services and 3 hotels, some commonly used by Western tourists, in addition to those who were killed. At least 450 were wounded, according to the officials with police. Yeah, so that is from ABC News. Thank you. But yeah, that's, wow. Touchy stuff.
Yeah, it's very touchy. Condolences go out to the families.
You want to get into this AAW Ass Award for the week? Who has it?
Sure. Let's get into it. Oh, there's 2 this week. Oh, yeah. Okay. Actually, I'm going to start with the bottom one. There was a bill that was passed and made it illegal for all women to have abortions.
Yes, yes.
Yes. This is now a crime, and consequences can be as serious as death penalty. How do you guys feel about this outrageous bill? Well, how do you feel about this outrageous bill? The state of Texas.
Okay, so it's just state of Texas.
Yes, the state of Texas.
I think it's wrong. I mean, like, how are you going to tell women that they can't, not, that they have to get rid of that they're forced to carry a child? Like a pregnancy is like a long thing. I'm not speaking from experience. I don't know, but like that's a year. So how are you going to tell a woman that, hey, you have to carry this baby? Like this is, you have to. And abortion is such a touchy subject because it's like
another touchy subject.
It can go like either way. Like, are people just being like, irresponsible, and then you go and you have an abortion, or were you raped and now you
right?
Now you need to have an abortion.
That's the main question. So if somebody is raped, they're forced to have the child that they weren't prepared to have,
right,
or mentally prepared to have. Like
right.
This isn't consensual. Like, no. This is a stupid bill, and it should be vetoed immediately, because obviously they haven't thought it all the way through.
What about, not just think just pass anything that fucking
they haven't thought it all the way
they just
through.
want to pass it. What do you think about it being like certain things to the bill? So, like, for example, if you were, or if somebody was raped, like, they can have an abortion. Or do you think just overall, like, that is the woman's say, like, they just, regardless if they're being irresponsible or not, they should be able to have an abortion.
Things should stay exactly the way they are. Like, there's a lot of I can't talk today. There's a lot of religions that don't accept that, and you should have the baby. That's murder. That's against the Bible. Okay, you should be able to have that belief. Mm-hmm. But for you to say that medically they cannot do that, that's not right. That's not right at all. Mm-hmm. Everybody should have a choice and a say-so to do whatever they want to do. Yeah. And that's the things that I thought that America was built on. But that's another subject for another show.
Yeah, I mean, you look at America, it's all about limitations of what you can't do.
Right.
And, like, these are the laws.
Like, you can do it, but not to this extent.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that people don't have the choice to.
Right.
And it's not even about anybody's personal beliefs. You can have your personal beliefs about it, but for you to tell a person no.
Yeah.
It's not right.
I agree.
Yeah, the state of Kansas. A former African-American college athlete was sentenced to 12 years in prison for a rape crime that he didn't commit. There was proper testing that was done for the alleged victim, and there was absolutely no DNA of Albert Wilson, who is not the victim. Well, he kind of is the victim, but the person who was being prosecuted within the last test. And the judge still gave him a 12-year gave the 12-year sentence to the black male. Let's get into it.
So there was no evidence of him raping this individual.
Yeah, they went out. This is the backstory. They went out. They had a good time. I think that he actually left. He walked her to her place, and then I guess they were there for a little bit, and he left. So he didn't touch her. Wow. She comes out and says, "Oh, he raped me."
Was it a white girl?
Yeah, I believe so. It doesn't even matter what race. Like,
yes, it does.
Well, yeah,
yes, it does.
Because, but I'm just saying. But like, you're kind of getting where I'm coming from, though.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, just like, if
he didn't commit the
there
crime,
was no evidence of that he raped her, then why would you sentence this man to 12 years? Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, why he's being sentenced, because she's white,
right?
But there's no DNA of him on the inside
Yeah.
of her, and the whole diagnostics, you did blanket tests and all this, and his DNA is barely anywhere.
I mean, I don't know, like, where her head was at. Like, if you think that you're about to go and get a rape kit and he didn't actually rape you, and they test and everything, and there are no results of him raping
So
you.
what's going on here?
What the fuck is wrong with you? You know, like, what is wrong? What goes through your head and says, oh, yeah, I'm just going to say that this guy raped me? That also makes me think, too, like, what was, like, if there was any relationship, what was her relationship with the judge? You know, like, why?
This is the type of stuff that goes to the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and it's trialed again.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Because this makes no sense to me at all. The test comes back negative, and he's still sentenced to 12 years for rape.
It's fucked up.
But he didn't rape her.
It's very
Like,
fucked
it's
up.
black. It's no gray area.
Yeah.
He didn't rape her.
Right. It's very fucked up. It's wrong. It's
State
wrong.
of Kansas, you get the asshole of the week. Or
State of
the
Kansas.
judiciary
The judge.
system.
The judge.
Whoever did that. I don't know what city in Kansas. But
What's that?
Kansas.
Sally? What is that? Sally what? Sally Pork? What is that?
Let me see. What?
The name that you have up here.
Where is it?
Oh, that's the part of Kansas.
Oh, I do have it up here. Sally Porconi, Kansas. You're an asshole.
You're an asshole. All right. That's very unfortunate. But I'm not, it does not surprise me. Like I said, things do not surprise me. The things that go on in, you know,
I have a
America
black male who did not rape her going to jail for rape.
does not surprise me.
Doesn't
Sucks to
that
say
sound crazy?
it
though?
does, but it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I had to put that on this week. It's crazy.
All right, let's go and get into the topics for this week. Jada, you developed this week's podcast topic, so I'll let you go ahead and start off with it.
Modern technology is affecting our lives. Put the phones down, damn it. Even though I have a phone right now. Very contradictory. But guess what? I'm still going to get into the topic. Okay. Cell phones and the internet is a great way to promote and come together as a whole, but we are truly addicted.
I can agree.
Very true.
I can agree.
Yes, very true.
But I also think you have to look at, like, how we got here. How do we get to being so addicted to our phones? I mean, of course they evolved. Technology got cooler. We started using them in school. But I think as the shit evolved, we was like, well, we want to stay current on it. And it's just like, now it's addictive. Social media and just all the apps and shit out there.
That's
like,
a very interesting question to how.
yeah. How did it happen?
That's deep. How did it happen?
Overnight?
No, it did not happen overnight. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even think of it like that, but I'm going to keep on going.
Mm-hmm.
We are too dependent on our phones and for the most part communicating through our phones. Social presence theory is basically a study that shows that people are now more comfortable with communicating through a screen rather than person to person. It's what we know and what we are used to, so it doesn't surprise me. That's short.
Yeah,
note.
it was my note, but I should have put my
you
name
can
beside it.
you can cut it out.
Yeah, and no, that's cool. But no, it doesn't surprise me at all. It's what we know and what we're used to. Like I said, we started, using technology in school, and now the shit is everywhere, and we don't go anywhere without it.
It's crazy for me to like see this person to person. I just was out with a friend, and she's been talking to this guy for 6 months on a phone. They only talked on the phone with like FaceTime like
Right.
maybe 3 times, and it's like now things are a little awkward. Yes, it is because you don't know him.
Yeah, you haven't met him.
You don't know him.
You haven't met him in person, so things are
Things
a
are
little
going to be
awkward.
different, and then people are surprised that things are different.
But even like if it's like you know somebody on social media and then you go to meet them in person, this shit is still awkward.
Yeah.
It's just not like what we're used to. Like we're not, and we weren't forced to have it. Even like if we have some way, if we have another way to communicate with somebody, we're going to use that if it's an easier way versus,
Right.
oh yeah, I'm going to go see this person and like talk to them. Nah,
People
just
think that
FaceTime
it's
me.
going to be the exact same. Like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that.
No.
And then you just sit there.
It's awkward
and
as
you're
shit.
like, hey,
Yeah.
exactly.
And you just, yeah.
You have to learn how to communicate face to face for anything to work. A friendship, a relationship, a work friendship, anything. You
Yeah.
have to sit there and talk to them and actually get to know them physically.
Yeah, very true. It's just is not the norm, and it's uncomfortable for some people.
It's very uncomfortable, but I mean, hey, that's what you have to do.
But you have to think about it too. A lot of relationships, like you were just saying, like your friend that over 6 months, like that's how they start. They start
Right.
and develop, social
There's
media.
nothing wrong with that part.
Yeah,
Getting to know people, networking, that's what you're supposed to do. But I mean,
but somebody's always going to be different than what they appear like on
Always.
social media or through the phone or whatever.
You have to meet them in person and have a relationship with them in person before anything can go any further.
So does that make us question like long distance relationships?
No, it doesn't make us question those because, I mean, with most long distance relationships, they don't become long distance relationships like right off the bat. You probably know them and then all of a sudden they move.
But if you're meeting that person, through, a dating app, Tinder or whatever, social media, and then you're starting to communicate with them and they're across, whatever, in a different city or whatever, and you're communicating with them, you've never met up with them, how do you know like your relationship is like really genuine? Like, because you haven't met them. So when you do meet them, it's kind of like things are off and it's like it's not the same.
Right.
Because you're not used to
That's a
seeing
good word
person.
to use for it, genuine. Because a lot of people do think that they have a very solid foundation. They've shared all of the things. Like, it can look great on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But if the feeling and the spark's not there, then what do you have?
Yeah. Very true.
You have a text mate.
Yeah.
Not a life mate.
Oh, my God.
Drop the pin. Yep. Physical communication is a huge aspect of any relationship, like I said earlier. And our use of excessive cell phones automatically put us in a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And we don't know what, I mean, we do because obviously we're talking about it, but like we don't know what kind of like damage like this is causing.
Yes.
Because it's our norm, is what we're used to. And I don't think we take it seriously, like when like, old people are like, you got that damn phone, like you're always on the phone. Like we don't take it seriously until like we're seeing it for ourselves. Like now we're pointing it out like, oh wait, this shit is awkward. Like, it is awkward when you confront somebody or talk to somebody, face to face versus, talking to them on social media. Like it's different.
It's interesting to see what our future is going to be like. Like in 10 years, what's going to be the next iPhone and how is that going to change communication? I always think of stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I feel like it's going to be even harder.
Harder to like communicate?
Yes.
Or for it to be like,
for it to
genuine.
be genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously not to be able to communicate, but like to be genuine, yeah, it's going to be harder.
Yeah. Because I feel like when you're not like physically like with that person, and even if it is like an intimate relationship that you're trying to build, like you don't know like what sets that person off or whatever. Because obviously when you're talking to somebody like, through social media or, on the phone, FaceTime, whatever, they're in that moment to talk to you. So it's not like you see them in their off moments or like when they have an attitude or when they're pissed off. They're not going to contact you then.
You're not going to know.
Yeah.
You're not going to know the full person until you meet them.
Yeah.
You're not.
Very true.
You're going to get all the good stuff, not the bad stuff.
That's
and now you just have a person that you don't know.
And now you have a lot of good shit to go off of, but you don't have the bad stuff. So could you be wasting somebody's time too?
I mean, in an aspect, in a way, you could say that. But then again, like I've seen the most awkward stuff, but then I've seen them automatically click. Mm-hmm. I've seen some people automatically click from just being like on Tinder and on Instagram and stuff. Yeah. And all of a sudden they're like best friends, and then all of a sudden they're like in a relationship and it's solid. So I mean, it just depends on the person, but obviously you're not gonna know until you communicate face to face.
Yeah, very true. That's what I agree.
Yeah. There's a blessing and a curse to the modern technology that we have for dating, and that's the curse.
And you have one more talking point.
Yes, I do. This one stuck out with me the most. According to YellenLaw.com, the number one leading cause to divorce in America is due to lack of communication.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're not communicating effectively, then it's no relationship. So
people
it's
forget how influential communicating is to a relationship.
Yeah. And that's what fucks us up. When people want to know why doesn't my relationship last? You don't know how to fucking communicate. You don't know how to talk. You don't know how to talk.
And you don't know how to talk through things.
Yeah. A lot.
I'm mad with you. I'm just gonna stop talking to you.
Yeah.
Until I get over it.
Yeah. And then you want to talk. Wait, don't we start this shit to work out? Like we're not done. We're not done.
Everybody wants to act like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And that's how things bite you in the ass.
Yeah. Very true.
It's very true.
Lack of communication.
Right. And that goes out for all of y'all. Y'all think y'all are ready for marriage? Don't do it. If you're 19, you're not ready. Not
the deep voice. Don't do it.
I'm just saying. The Melanin Report for this week goes out to Big Sean. Yay. What's his ad lib? Boy. Yeah. So leaders in the hip hop community, leaders in hip hop are starting to help out their hometown communities in a major way. Detroit native rapper Big Sean has sought a way to bring revenue to the city of Detroit and has given college students an opportunity to display their entrepreneurial skills by hosting a Shark Tank event. He gave 5 college students the time to pitch their ideas and businesses. So hats off to Big Sean for that major accomplishment.
That's dope.
Yay.
I think that's really dope. If you
I think
gave him funds or no?
Yeah, I think he did give like the best pitch some funds
to 5 college students.
Yeah,
businesses are exciting to me. Like starting anything off, you know, and kickstarting it and you know launching into what you want it to be is exciting. I think I said this before. Like we have so much control. Like you know, companies own this and own this and own this, and now we're forced to go to these companies. When we have people that start to develop their own things and you know can make names for themselves, I think that's exciting. Especially if you stick with it and you can actually take it somewhere.
There's definitely a lot of motivation for entrepreneurship, like right now. Like it's really booming, and I like seeing people actually come up with ideas that they would never think to do.
Right.
Like they're making their vision come true. I think that's really dope to look on Instagram. That's why I follow a lot of people, because a lot of people are doing some really cool things, and they probably wouldn't have been doing them if they stayed in their shell. So
yeah,
kudos to everybody.
Yeah, you gotta definitely pop out of your shell in order to be successful.
Honestly,
so.
And yeah, all those
Shout
t-shirt businesses, everybody, good job. I see good things.
Shout out to Big Sean.
Yeah, boy.
All right, our last topic for the day: advice by T&J. All right, so we got a DM on Instagram, and it reads, "Hi all. So I have been working on a project with one of my close friends for some time now. We both have common goals that we would like to achieve, but lately my friend doesn't seem to have the drive to accomplish what we have started. Should I say something to them? I don't want to ruin a friendship, but at the same time, I don't want to be held back." That's a good one. So my first thing is maybe whoever is genuinely busy, you know, like give them time. Now, if it's like, you know, consistent and it's the same thing over and over, you can't wait for somebody to catch up to you. You know, if you have the drive for something or you want to do something, and I think I've stated this before in this podcast, you know, do it. Do not wait, you know, or hinder yourself because someone is not ready to do what you're doing. And my other point is, if they're lacking, let them go. You know, let them go as a business partner or a project, you know, a project partner. Let them go as that, and continue to have them as a friend. Maybe they're just not meant for you to work on that project or business with them.
I mean, people change all the time. Visions change all the time.
Yeah.
You could wake up one day and think that you're going to be the best radio personality, and the next day you'll probably wake up and think that you're the best engineer ever. I mean, as we're young and as we're experiencing things and we're on the college campus, everybody's vision is not going to stay the same.
Right.
So I feel that if somebody's ideas change, then hey, it's time to move on then.
But I still think that friend or whatever owes it to that person to, you know, be open and communicate that with them. You know, like, hey, I know my drive hasn't been there, or I haven't been there, you know, but I'm still here with that, or whatever. You know, it's communicating again. You know, like it's clear.
Right.
Everything's
a process.
Yeah, but that is it. That's it for this week. I'm a little sad to sign off because this is it for this month. And then we will return back in June and hit it hard. But definitely make sure to follow us on our social medias at T&J's Child's Play. But a
lot more content to come. So you guys should really follow our Instagram.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do that.
At T&J's Child's Play.
We will see you guys very soon.
Very, very soon. 4 weeks, 30 days. We'll be back on.
All right.
We hope you enjoyed our podcast.
We're here every Thursday with some new
If you have something to say it to my face.
Or let us know on Instagram and Twitter at T&J's Child's Play.
Make sure you're subscribed to get notified about our podcast.